how does Bronny fit in LA? Now, D'Angelo Russell had supposedly tweeted "Wow" sometime in the afternoon yesterday, and a lot of people were connecting that to the Bronny James draft pick. People were saying, "Oh wow, they're really switching you for Bronny," and he then responded later on saying, it's just him on his podcast shit, right? And there's been rumors for the past year of them getting rid of D'Angelo Russell. And I think it would be a good thing for him because a player like him that needs the ball in his hand, he's a very rhythm-based player. He depends on finding his rhythm. He's not just always on fire. He's a jump shooter for the most part. So you need to be able to give him space you need to give him a longer runway, right, to get his engine going. And so being in a team where he has a lot more freedom to handle the ball and get shots up, I think would go well for him. So if D'Angelo Russell is to be moved, and let's say Austin Reeves could be moved, now you're putting Bronny in a point guard role, ball handling. Well, I guess he wouldn't be the primary ball handler because his dad is still there. Does he fit that? Right? Now, we obviously saw the spot shooting, and that's something that the Lakers have been needing. They need someone that can hit open three-point shots because LeBron James and Anthony Davis demand so much attention. So it looks like Bronny can do that. We'll have to see in-game speed against these guys running at him, how he's able to get his shot off and adjust, right? That's going to be number one. So his three-point shooting, I think, is going to be the very, very first key, right? If he's off of the ball, meaning slot cuts, dunker spot, backdoor cuts, slipping pick and rolls, if they're doing like a Bron to the guard pick and roll, and he's picking for Bron, and he can cut, he could slip that cut, he can go screen and either find the open spot or cut to the basket and use his athleticism, right? I think that's where he could be effective sooner rather than later. I wouldn't say immediately, but to use his athleticism, his speed, his quickness to get to his leaping ability, right? He has a floater, finish at the rim. If you could get him moving off of the ball, going towards the rim on cuts, and utilize his three-point shooting, I do think he has a spot on LA. Especially with Connect. What's his name? What is his name? Dalton Connect. If he's plays anything like we've seen, aggressive, he likes to get to the basket, and the way JJ was saying, Bron is gonna kind of space the floor a little bit more. It opens the possibility for a Bronny and him to be rim running at the same time, because at Connect's size, if you have a point guard at Bronny James kind of going with him, Connect can have that lane as opposed to having an Anthony Davis there. So we can have the big space out with LeBron and Davis, right? And have guards kind of be meeting at the rim with Connect. And if he can finish anything like he did in college, that'll go a really long way for them. And, like I said, also another person that can space the floor for LeBron, for Davis, for Connect. And, it looks like he really does have a spot on this team. Now, will it translate? We have to see. But the thing about a player like him is, I know we've never seen it work out where a great player's son, excuse me, becomes a great player. It's usually the other way around, right? Like their dad was solid, mid tier player, and then their son becomes great, right? Part of that is, those kids are in NBA locker rooms, they're on the floor, they get to see it, so all they've known their whole life has been the NBA. And they're kind of just going through this process of, high school, college, and then the NBA. When the reality is their game has been made for the NBA from the beginning. And I think that's sort of the situation that Bronny's in right now. He has an NBA game. He's a slashing, cutting guard, and his dad is a small forward that's a point guard. And I think that mixes because he's not going to have the ball in his hand. And he, ironically enough, has developed all of the great assets that his dad needs. Dad needs a shooter, a guard defender, and someone that can cut and get to the basket and has athleticism. He really is like a fucking Iman Shumpert that could shoot. Like, it really is kind of like that. You just don't have the same physicality as Iman Shumpert, at least not right now. But that's how it comes off, and so we'll see, because like I said, he really does seem to fit this team, ironically, as outside of it just being around his dad. So